Hello guys, welcome to another video. This is Civil War Unmasked and this is issue number 3. So first of all, I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna bring more and more amazing comic book videos. You guys just hit the like button, share and subscribe. And let's go start without any wasting much of time. So this issue centers on Tom Foster, the nephew of Bill Foster, better known as Goliath. And the thing is, to understand the story, it's important to remember what happened during the original Civil War. Bill Foster was one of the heroes who joined Captain America's anti registration movement during a clash between the two sides. The the Thor clone, known as Ragnarok, struck Bill with a lightning blast that killed him instantly. His death became one of the most shocking moments of the entire Civil War and changed the course of the conflict. Issue 3 explores what happened emotionally to the people left behind, and that is what Christopher Gage, Christopher Gage, and all the talented artists and writers made this book about. So I'm gonna read through it, then we are gonna explain a lot of things about this one and we're gonna discuss. Let's start. New Jersey, the funeral of William Foster, aka Goliath. Chains, one of the greatest black heroes in history, and they're burying him in chains, and that is shameful. It looks like that. So this is a major scene. This is a major scene of this comic book issue. I can't decide if that's the ultimate insult or surprisingly honest. Hell, it's probably both. Tom, I don't know if you remember me. I'm Hank Pym, Yellow Jacket. Your Uncle Bill and I were colleagues, friends. He spoke of you often. He was so proud when you got into MIT. Dr. Pym, I know you and Uncle Bill were old friends. I know he got his powers because of you, so I'm gonna ask you to back off before I say something he wouldn't want me to. Of course, I just want you to know none of us meant for this to. Then maybe you shouldn't have made the monster that murdered him. That's enough, Thomas. Not here, not today. Your granddad's right, Bill wouldn't have wanted a scene. I know, damn him. Even after he threw in with Captain America against some of his oldest friends, Pym, Tony Stark, the Fantastic Four, because he knew their superhuman registration act was wrong, and even after their obscene clone of Thor killed him for it, he still wouldn't have wanted to disrespect them a few weeks ago. Okay, I get you don't want me to stick my neck out, but I can still speak out against these idiots. Easy, Tom. Tony, Hank, Reed, they're taking a stance they believe in, like me. Just keep an eye on my lab while I'm away. Make yourself at home, but don't take any unnecessary risks. Okay, nephew? Don't take any unnecessary risk? Like attacking a mad god? I never understood you, Uncle Bill, but I always loved you. And saying this, he just threw away his MIT degree or the offer letter. And in that offer letter, we get to see that, dear Thomas, you were offered for MIT. So the Plaza Hotel the next day. You sure you won't stay a little longer, baby? The room's paid for. By Tony Stark. I can't get out fast enough. Anyway, I should get back to school. I promised King T'Challa I'd finish, and it's what Uncle Bill would want. You were closer to Uncle Bill than anyone, Mom. Did you understand him? What do you mean? I mean, the man lived the straightest life possible for a kid who grew up in the ghetto. AC school, PhD from Caltech, job as a researcher with a damn Avenger, all of which is admirable but not exactly Malcolm X, right? Then when he gets the power to become a giant, he calls himself Black Goliath, which I love, like it or not. You can't escape the fact that a black man saved your behind, but it seems out of step with the rest of the bio. That was my brother. He was a man of science, but sometimes he'd quote poetry. I remember he especially liked Walt Whitman. Once we were debating something, can't even recall what. I thought I'd boxed him into a corner. He just smiled and said, "Do I contradict myself? Very well, then I contradict myself. I am large. I contain multitudes. Come on, Uncle Bill, that's a cop out. No, it's Walt Whitman, and it's the truth. We have to live with our choices. If I force myself, I do something I'm uncomfortable with to remain intellectually consistent. I'm being untrue to myself. You can't win by fighting your feelings, Tom, only by understanding them. You think Pym told the truth? They couldn't shrink him down because the Thor clone hit him with unstable energies. Or do you think they wanted him that size as an example of what happens if you don't toe the line? I don't care. He should be big and let what they did be so big no one can look away. You focus on school, I'll keep you informed about the lawsuit. Stark's gonna settle. If it's enough to take care of you, Grandma and Granddad, take it. It's what Bill would want. I want them to answer for what they did. They will, Mama. I promise you. They will. Sometime later, Boston. Considering academics, but I have a tempting offer from Roxon. What are you gonna do after graduation, Tom? I applied to every facility that works with PIM particles in the world. Now oh my god, look! In breaking news, the Hulk has returned from outer space and claimed Manhattan. He says a group of Earth's heroes exiled him to an alien planet, then detonated a bomb that killed his family there. He's come for revenge. Satellite images shown an earlier battle on the moon resulting in the defeat of the Inhuman King Black Bolt. CNCV. Oh, CNCV. A new channel. Okay, thus far we can confirm the Hulk has overcome Iron Man, the Fantastic Four, and Doctor Strange. He has invited any who wish to testify against them before he passes final judgment to do so in person. Yeah, right, I'm sure folks will be showing up in droves. Tom, where are you going? To rent a car. Okay, Avengers Mansion, Manhattan later. I went, Uncle Bill, I testified for you in the Hulk's arena, but Stark got away with it, like he always does. The Hulk found out one of his own people set the bomb that killed his family. He lost the will to fight on. I didn't. I wasn't about to let it end there. I was done depending on other people for justice. Damage control was securing the scene. I borrowed one of their informs, and no one looked at me twice as I walked into the Avengers labs. They probably weren't too worried. I doubt most people even knew how to turn most of those machines on, but I'd helped you out in the lab enough. I knew exactly what I was doing, exactly where to find the PIM particle solution that gave you your growing powers. And I settled up with Stark for you personally. This was it, finally my chance to get justice for you. Sure, I was a rookie, but inside that armor, Stark was wounded 50 different ways from fighting the Hulk. And that is true. I like my chances. But two factions of the Hulk's alien troops decided to go to war with each other at the moment. And since I was Goliath now, I had to ask myself what Goliath would do. It wasn't a major mystery. Why would you have to be such a square, Uncle Bill? Who am I kidding? It felt good. It felt right, helping save lives and fix things instead of the opposite. I wouldn't exactly say I made peace with Stark, but we laid down our arms for the moment. I stuck around Manhattan for a bit, helped damage control with repairs, even got paid. I figured it was a good opportunity to figure out what I was going to do with these powers now that I had them. 2 days later, collapse run! The building is collapsing, but it turns out I wasn't the only one there doing some soul searching. An artificial life form called the SUPER-ADAPTOID had traveled to Manhattan to learn more about itself from the enemies who'd analyzed it the most, the Avengers. It had plugged itself into their mainframe deep in a sub basement. Probably didn't even notice when the roof caved in. When it dug itself out, it was mad. Humans, again your folly threatens your very existence. Brack Sork! My first reaction was to shrink down to normal size, run away with the others. Then I remembered what I had in my backpack along with some really funky t-shirts and drawers. Something I had been keeping close, waiting for the right moment to try on. I thought about what it meant. I seek only clarity, direction, peace. You ever desire the opposite. Very well. If it's destruction you seek, the super-adaptoid will oblige you. I don't blame you for being mad at the world, pal, but do it somewhere else. This city suffered enough. And the fight begins with the artificial antiform and the ancient people and the new Goliath. Analysis. Pim particles composition similar to Goliath. I possess the powers of Goliath as well as multiple others Avengers. You are outmatched. I guess I should just give up then. That would be the sensible course of action. Right thing is, and another attack. I have been all that sensible lately. This is the insanity I cannot comprehend. The same impulse that seems to bless you with creativity and imagination also curses you with hate, rage, and madness. Vroom. A curse you persist in inflicting upon others. Kdum. You seem pretty good at that yourself. Because humans always bedevil me. Because everywhere I go on this planet, I cannot find solace. If I must destroy all humanity to know a moment's peace, then I will. Or you could just leave. Explain. Destroying all humanity won't bring you peace. It'll just vent your anger. If that helped, you'd feel better by now. Hell, so would I. I know what you mean about this world, whatever you are looking for. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna find it here. But you seem to have the powers of Thor, Iron Man, and the Vision. And you are a robot or android, non-human anyway. If I could leave Earth, I would. But I need to breathe air, drink water, eat food. I'm stuck here. You are not. Could it really be so simple? And yet it makes sense. I think you human, you have given me what I believe you call hope, and new appreciation for your kind. Where's it going? I don't know, space somewhere else, anywhere but here. And you, me, back to work. That's where I am going. I'd like to tell you it was smooth sailing from there, but that wouldn't exactly be true. It took time for me to let go of the anger I had over what happened to you, Uncle Bill. Iron Man and Captain America became friends again. That kind of broke me. Like, what the hell did you die for it if it's going to be like it never happened? I guess I spiraled. I raised hands against the Avengers again. It didn't go well. I did a stint in prison, had time to think about you. How I used to give you a hard time about not standing up to systematic injustice more, and what you said in response about how if you want you can spend your whole life mad, but you are only really hurting yourself, and how the important battles are the ones that improve people's lives. So I went to therapy. You should have heard that granddad thought about that, but it helped. You'll be glad to hear I worked things out with Hank Pym. Turns out it wasn't him who cloned Thor or any of that mess. He'd been replaced by a shape-changing alien. I wouldn't believe it, except they invaded Earth. I'm avoiding the point, which is I finally accepted that if I'm going to pick up your name, costume, and legacy, I have an obligation to behave in a way that honors you. And that's by making people's life better. I can't promise I'll do it the exact same way you would have, but I don't think you would want that. What I do promise is that every day I'll try to make you proud. The most surprising part of all this, and in a lot of ways the best part, is that I feel closer to you than ever. It's like you are still with me, and I have gotten this far without making a bad joke about big shoes to fill. So I'll leave it at that. I love you, Uncle Bill. I miss you. But at long last, I'm grateful for all you have given me. And I think I know what to do with it. The next one is coming, Tigra. Tigra. Which side are you on? So yeah, about this comic book thing, and we have to discuss that Bill Foster's funeral. The story opens in the aftermath of Bill Foster's funeral. The atmosphere is heavy. Heroes gather to pay respects, and that is when Tom's anger happens towards the heroes. Tom cannot accept what happened, but you have to accept it. What just happened? His point is also really great because Captain America and Iron Man fought against themselves, and later they just became friends. So it was a meaningless fight. It was meaningless times. That is really crazy. And on that case, Tom is real right. So yeah, if you go to the comic book, I really like the first part of the comic book, but the later when he just doing all the narration in his letter, I don't really like it because it didn't give such of a kick. But yeah, becoming Goliath and starts fighting, that makes a real transformation because the transformation is exciting. And that just what happened when he became Goliath. And it's really super cool because Tom quickly discovers that becoming a giant is not as easy as it appears. Bill Foster spent years learning how to use his powers. Tom is new, and these realizations are pretty much clear on the comic book. So connection to the World War Hulk, the issue revisit events surrounding World War Hulk and places Tom into the historical period of Marvel continuity. Marvel synopsis especially states that readers revisit those events as Tom adopts the Goliath identity. This is one of the major ideas behind the Unmasked series, and that's what we understand right now. Rather than retelling famous events from the perspective of Iron Man or Captain America, the series focuses on characters who experience those events from the sidelines. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you like it, just share it with your friends and family, siblings, mom, dad, uncle, auntie, whatever. And yeah, have a great day, guys. Adios for now. See you soon.